You're listening to Femme House Radio with your host, LP Giobbi, and this week I am thrilled to have my dear friend and powerhouse, Ruthie Bandit, who has played with me before many of my Dead House sets on Femme House Radio. A recent graduate of the architecture program at Rhode Island School of Design, Ruthie Bandit began DJing as a creative outlet while pursuing her master's degree. Her carefully chosen frequencies from disco, house, and funk through the lens of rock and psychedelic rock music turned heads, and she soon found herself curating sonic experiences in clubs, dance halls, and sought-after venues in Brooklyn, New York, and beyond. Welcome to Femme House Radio.
Thank you. That was lovely.
I'm so happy you're here and so excited that we're finally doing this. So tell us your origin story. How did you get into house music and DJing and producing?
Okay, definitely. Origin story is I was living in Colorado at the time. I was part ski instructor, part architect, architectural designer, and I got into the jam scene, and basically there was this one sort of like trifecta of DJs called Orchard Lounge that played a lot of shows like after parties, after Biscuits or after Umphreys or String Cheese. And there's one gal in this like trio of people. Her name's Bethany, and she was just such a baddie. I loved their music. I realized I was going to the jam shows more for the afters. I say that very quietly. But yeah, and then once I started to, sort of like mess around with it, COVID hit. I had a little bit more time, and I did like backyard parties in Denver and other places in Colorado, and yeah, just kind of leaned in, found myself in Brooklyn after I graduated grad school, and here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah.
You and I share a passion for the jam world and house music. Do you find there are similarities between the two worlds?
So many. Like so many, it's not even, it parlays into each other so much, from, jam musicians not having a set list, to teasing a song in the middle of a jam the way a really good DJ will, and some people will pick up on it.
Ooh, cool, I like that one. Yes.
Yeah, I think there's a lot. What do you think?
I think the ethos of like community, being part of something greater than yourself, peace, love, unity, this like hippie freedom, blur community,
like culturally.
Culturally there are so many similarities. Sort of freedom, counterculture, the music never stopping. I think it's another really big one. Like my mom always used to say, Grateful Dead call themselves a dance band. So I'm like, that's okay. I get that. For sure. I love finding people that also see that through line.
Totally. And also like really experiencing it in person almost regularly. Like if you are living in New York and you like to dance, you're going to places and you're supporting artists. Maybe they're your friends, maybe they're not. And the jam scene is the exact same way. Like you're not necessarily like powering through on Spotify. I mean, maybe you are, but you are giving them your attention.
Yes.
Which is beautiful.
Because it's going to be different every time, and how are they going to, weave the songs together, for sure. Tell us about your nonprofit Park project.
Yeah. So Park started with my partner, Peter, before we were ever a thing, and basically he was very inspired by a conversation he had with Jay Blakesberg, who said that people really weren't present at concerts a lot anymore, that he noticed, and it was just disheartening for him. And so Peter was telling me about it. He was on tour in California. I was in Providence in grad school. And he was like, yeah, maybe I like want to design a sticker to like put on my keyboard and tell people to like stop looking at their phones. So we both designed a sticker. He liked mine. We went with it. We put the sticker on his keyboard, and then people like wanted to buy it. So we made a shit ton more. We made t-shirts, and eventually we just realized that like there was a lack of connection between people once phones had been introduced, you know, and a lot of people weren't happy about it. I mean, keep in mind, this was also, I guess, maybe 4 or 5 years ago at this point. I feel like now it's very understanding that, yeah, phones suck at concerts. But it seemingly wasn't as widespread knowledge back then. And so, yeah, since then we've done other...
I would still say it still is not, it seems like there's more and more from what
You think so?
Yeah. I think people are aware of it, but they still are pulling them out.
Yeah, so our like initial first motto was phone down, eyes up, heart open. Yeah. And we carried that through.
Cute. How can I get my hands on one of those? Do you have a website or a merch store?
I think we do. I think we have a website. I think it's parkproject.net or something like that. I'll send you the info.
Okay,
Yeah.
amazing. Well, I think that is really cool, and also I just want to shout out the creative couple that you're in. Peter Onstock is a member of Goose, and it is really, really cool to see two creative folks coming together and supporting each other and being creative together. I love that.
It's a lot of fun. Yeah, he's always been the type to allow my curiosities to sort of flourish and be very supportive of that, and it hasn't always been like that in relationships, and so for that I'm really grateful.
You deserve that. Changing subjects, do you have a wildest moment or story while DJing that you can share?
Yeah, dude, it was at your show.
Uh-oh.
Did you know?
No, tell me.
Okay, so I mean, the scene was it was your last show of your tour. This like winter, yeah, this
In New
winter
York?
fall. Yeah, in New York. You're
Okay.
at the Mirage.
Yes. Or not.
And was it Mirage or was it
Yes,
Avant?
you're
No.
right. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah, because you're at KDC the other year. Yeah, and so I forget who it was, Chad or Leshev, Cheever. They were like, there's not enough women DJs playing after Leah. Like, do you know any good DJs? And I was like, yeah, they're not here. Then Chad was like, you're here. Do you have your stick? And I was like, oh my God, like, what is this happening right now? And of course I had my USB because...
Good DJ.
Yeah, and then I was like, okay, well, like, we have to make sure it's okay with Leah, obviously. We go over to you.
No questions asked.
Yeah, because you were done. You were like, you had probably already played for like 6 hours at this point,
And the last, it was 3-month tour. I was
Yeah.
so pumped. I thought it was such a good idea, and I was so excited for you.
Yeah, that was crazy. And so then I plugged my USB in, and I'm like, okay.
Because I thought people would leave, and they were still there.
There was probably 2,000 people there.
And then you fucking held them.
It was crazy. I have this one friend who is not a new producer, but like new on the scene, I guess you could say. He's been working really hard at it for a while. And his stack of like funky disco house tracks is just fat. So I was like, I'm going to play this local producer's track right now.
How sick.
And it hit. It totally hit. It has like a tease from Mercy. And yeah, I was like, let's do it. And then I'm pretty sure Cheever played his collab with Caroline Byrne.
Yes. It
Yeah.
just came out. Oh my gosh, how cool. I love that you had the confidence and the gusto to get up there and to do that, and you really did impress people. I got DMs about it afterwards. Like, who was that? And like, yeah, that was a way to seize that moment.
It was crazy. I had another moment where in the past that had sort of been asked of me, and then I like hesitated for like probably a second too long. And so then it was like, okay, no. And then I was like, I'm not going to make that mistake again.
And you learned from that, and you took that with you into the future. I love that. So you just headlined the Femme House after party for Goose's sold-out Madison Square Garden show. I was devastated I couldn't be there. So much FOMO. And I am dying to know how it went.
It was so great. Like, from the outset, I was I had my doubts. It was at a barbecue restaurant, and so I was like, "Ooh, campy," you know.
Oh gosh,
But
no, DIY.
DIY, but honestly, it wasn't DIY at all. Like the restaurant was fully professional, and honestly, it had great interior design, and that goes a long way with me. And so the so silly. But then the basement, like once I sound checked, the sound was good. Like it hit. The subs were good. I was so worried about the subs. But yeah, multiple people were like, "Oh my god, it sounds amazing," and I was like, "Yeah, it's like literally the only thing that matters."
Hell yeah. Well, thanks for doing that. I heard it went great. And
Yeah,
I was there in spirit.
it was so fun. Like people were there until 3 a.m., which is crazy after a 5-hour
After a
jam band
5-hour show, oh my God.
Yeah,
That is,
yeah.
I mean, that's
I couldn't
impressive
believe it.
too. You
I was
were
surprised.
out there dancing for 8 hours. Jesus.
Yeah, totally.
So you are redesigning, this is insane. You're redesigning the green rooms at Barclays. Tell us about that and how that came to be.
Yeah, it is crazy. I work for a residential interior design firm in Brooklyn called the Brooklyn Home Company. And this project kind of came across their desk as we're thinking about doing this, and we want the rooms to have a little bit of a residential feel. And that's kind of what my firm is known for in the area. And truthfully, I fully was not put on this project. It was going to go to like a different group of designers. And after spending far too many hours working in green rooms during grad school supporting Peter, kind of being like, why am I in green rooms all the time? Like, this is not a good use of my time. I had just observed artists left and right and like seeing how they work throughout the day, from when they arrive to sound check to, pre-show, during the show, post-show, whatever. So when this project sort of like slid into, so to speak, like my firm's DMs, I was like, yo,
This is made for you.
yeah, I should be involved, especially because the other designers there hadn't heard of the term green room. And so it was just, I was like,
imagine what a different life.
Yeah, totally different, and I just feel very fortunate that the leader of the firm really respected that. He was like, absolutely, like we could use your experience. And I never thought that it would amount to that, like all those hours,
They were for something. Well, also, there are so many days where all I see is a green room besides the hotel and the airplane. And so to make that space feel good is like, that's the only place that I'll be all day. That's so important.
For sure.
I think that's such a cool thing that you're doing. I'm so excited to see how they turn out.
Yeah, and I knew that too. And so there were certain things that were top tier important for me. It was like, one, having a sofa that you can take a really good nap on, because you never know what the artist or anyone else would need to do,
The amount of naps I've taken actually on floors. So
totally
in green rooms. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and then also was making sure there's 6 rooms in this. It's called like the Star Suites area of Barclays, like where the stars have their green rooms. And I wanted to make sure that the rooms were not confusing between one another, because even just as like a partner of a musician, when you go backstage and you're like, feeling a little tipsy or whatever, you get confused with all the rooms and you're like, where is my shit? I literally have 2 seconds to grab it. So I made each room a color drench of a different color, and all the colors basically relate to the neighborhoods of Brooklyn that surround Barclays, so that if the artists don't leave the green rooms, they get a little Flavor Flav.
Okay, this is so thoughtful and so creative, and so, because sometimes I'm like, man, I went to the city and I actually couldn't tell you a thing about it. That's
Totally.
so awesome.
That is fun.
Brilliant. That is
Thanks,
absolutely
buddy.
brilliant. Oh, you're so creative. I love that. Well, thank you for being a guest on Femme House Radio. We adore you at Femme House, as you know. We are obsessed with you. We book you for everything that we can. And I'm just so excited to see you keep climbing and keep rising.
Oh, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure, and I love seeing your ascent. It's just really inspiring.